Owen Hart, a member of the legendary Hart wrestling family, was not just a wrestler but an embodiment of passion, personality, and technical prowess. His career spanned over a decade in the World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, where he won numerous championships and gave fans unforgettable memories. But, as you may already know, his career was abruptly cut short. The 12th child of Stu and Helen Hart, Owen was deeply entrenched in the wrestling world from his early years. He initially sought a career outside of wrestling, but eventually succumbed to the allure of the family business. He developed a high-flying style, a departure from his family's more grounded, mat-based technique, and it became something of a trademark. Owen's journey took a significant turn when he began competing internationally, earning a reputation for his athleticism and spectacular moves. But life had a unique twist in store for him. Something that shocked wrestling fans worldwide. And that twist is, well, you'll find out soon enough. What's up, my amazing and curious folks? This is Caesar, and joining me today is the ever-insightful Sonia. Are you ready to unravel a mystery that took the wrestling world by storm? Make sure to subscribe to Curiosity Wonderland and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode of our thrilling journey into the fascinating world of curiosities.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here on this exciting journey. Buckle up because today's story is going to be a roller coaster of emotions and surprises.
Wrestling, it's more than just theatrics and exaggerated rivalries. There's a long and often tragic history embedded in this world of sports entertainment. One such story is of Owen Hart. Recognized for his exceptional in-ring skills, charismatic personality, and high-flying style, Owen was a pillar of the wrestling world. Primarily competing in the WWF, now known as WWE, he won multiple championships and was celebrated for his extraordinary technical prowess and captivating matches. Owen was the 12th child of Stu and Helen Hart, and the youngest member of the legendary Hart wrestling family. Born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, on the 7th of May, 1965, his early life was deeply rooted in the world of wrestling. His father, Stu Hart, a promoter and founder of Stampede Wrestling, also owned an infamous training facility known as the Dungeon. This environment shaped the young Owen Hart, defining his path and his future. Despite his natural athleticism and involvement in various sports, Owen initially aimed to pursue a career outside the wrestling ring. He even attended the University of Calgary on a wrestling scholarship, with ambitions of becoming a physical education teacher. But as fate would have it, the allure of the professional wrestling world, and his father's wishes, were too strong to resist. He began working as a wrestler in 1986 as part of his father's Stampede Wrestling promotion. Owen's talent quickly shone through, and he developed a high-flying style, which was somewhat rare for a member of the Hart family. They were more known for their technical, mat-based wrestling. But Owen Hart was different. He dared to push the boundaries. He dared to. What do you think? In 1988, Owen Hart joined the World Wrestling Federation, where he was known as the Blue Blazer, a masked persona that allowed him to display his aerial skills and athleticism without the added pressure of upholding the Hart family legacy. But eventually, Owen shed this persona and began wrestling under his own name, embracing his heritage and establishing himself as a pivotal part of the WWF roster. Throughout his WWF career, Hart achieved remarkable success, from winning multiple championships to participating in unforgettable feuds and matches. Particularly memorable were his bouts with his brother, Bret Hart. The bond between Owen and Bret was unmistakable, shaped by their shared upbringing and intensive training in their father's dungeon in Calgary. This challenging environment was renowned for producing wrestlers of exceptional skill. Bret entered the WWF in 1984, quickly climbing the ranks due to his technical prowess and in-ring psychology. By the late 80s and into the early 90s, Bret had made a name for himself as one of the WWF's leading talents, capturing multiple championships and headlining major events. Despite sharing a similar training background and undeniable talent with Bret, Owen initially struggled to find his own identity, separate from the vast shadow of Bret's accomplishments. His early years at the WWF were marked by his journey through various personas and storylines, determined to carve out his unique space within the wrestling world. This period showcased Owen's resilience and versatility, qualities that would later define his successful career in the industry. The influence of the Hart family on professional wrestling has been extraordinary. A prime example of their enduring legacy is the Hart Foundation. The original duo consisted of Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Bret's brother-in-law. Formed in 1985, the Hart Foundation was more than just a tag team, it signified the Hart family's wrestling dynasty. The group, managed by Jimmy Hart, who is not related to the Hart family, captured the WWF Tag Team Championships twice. Even though Owen was a part of the original duo, the ethos of the group and the excellence it represented had a profound impact on his career. His journey in wrestling was interwoven with the legacy left by his brother Bret and the Hart Foundation. This connection was especially evident during the intense rivalry between the Hart brothers in the early 90s. And this, folks, is just the beginning of the saga. What do you think? Interestingly, Bret wasn't initially keen on the idea of the brothers being pitted against each other. He once said, "I remember I didn't want to do it. They came to me with the idea, and I said, first of all, I can only do it with Owen if I do this. And I want to think about it overnight because I don't know if I want to fight my own brother." But he agreed to it, not for himself, but for Owen. Bret said, "I needed to do this for Owen, so he could show everybody that he's better than they give him credit for." They didn't understand how good of a talent Owen was. The narrative of Owen's character, often portrayed as living in the shadow of his brother Bret's success, resonated deeply with wrestling fans around the world. This personal layer added to their professional feud made their encounters in the ring incredibly compelling. The peak of this rivalry was at SummerSlam 1994 during a steel cage match for the WWF Championship. While Bret officially won, the match elevated Owen's status as a top-tier talent within the world of wrestling. Despite their intense on-screen rivalry, Owen and Bret shared a strong bond outside the wrestling ring, a testament to their ability to separate their personal relationship from their professional personas. Their matches were known for their storytelling, technical prowess, and athleticism, emphasizing the deep respect and connection between the two brothers. They maintained a close relationship outside of the ring, often sharing laughs and lighthearted moments. But the world of wrestling changed forever on May 23, 1999. During the WWF's Over the Edge pay-per-view event, tragedy struck. Owen, performing as his superhero-like persona the Blue Blazer, was set to make a spectacular entrance, descending from the arena's rafters directly into the ring. This high-flying stunt was meant to thrill the audience with its daring theatricality. But as we know, things didn't go as planned. A day that was supposed to be full of excitement and entertainment turned into one of the darkest days in wrestling history. What do you think? The unthinkable happened when the harness's quick-release mechanism engaged while Owen was still high above the ring. Hart fell approximately 78 feet, landing chest-first on the top rope before collapsing inside the ring. The wrestling world watched in horror. Staff provided immediate medical intervention in the ring and Hart was swiftly transported to a hospital, but it was too late. Hart was pronounced dead due to the blunt force trauma sustained from the fall.
That must have been such a shock for everyone involved. How did the wrestling community react to this tragic event?
The wrestling world was deeply affected. It was a somber moment in the sport's history, leading to lasting changes in how wrestling entertainment prioritizes performer safety. Jeff Jarrett, Owen's close friend and tag team partner, said, "In this business, it's cold, it's callous, it's selfish, it's self-serving, it's unrealistic, it's a fantasy world, but Owen was real."
From what you've explained, it seems like Owen was deeply loved in this community. How was this reflected during his funeral?
Hart's funeral was a deeply moving event, and it drew family, friends, fans, and a significant contingent from the wrestling community. Fellow wrestlers from rival organizations ECW and WCW were also in attendance, highlighting the widespread admiration for Hart. Bret offered a poignant eulogy, reflecting on Owen's life and kindness.
It's clear that Owen's passing had a profound impact on the wrestling industry. Did this tragedy change any practices or traditions within professional wrestling?
In the wake of Hart's death, the wrestling world momentarily pulled back the curtain on its highly scripted nature. The WWF's tribute show, Raw as Owen, held the night after his passing, was where wrestlers openly expressed their grief and shared personal anecdotes about Hart, often breaking character to do so. This was a significant departure from the norm in professional wrestling, where maintaining kayfabe, or the portrayal of staged events as real, is seen as sacrosanct. The wrestling industry, and the WWF specifically, set aside their in-ring personas and storylines to honor Owen's memory, a rare and impactful gesture. This demonstrated the deep respect and love they had for him. Following Owen's death, the wrestling industry engaged in introspection around the physical risks associated with the profession and the necessity of enhancing safety protocols to better protect wrestlers. But the legacy of Owen Hart extends beyond the wrestling ring. His widow, Martha, established the Owen Hart Foundation in his honor. The organization focuses on supporting various philanthropic initiatives, like offering scholarships, bursaries, and aid for education and housing.
That's such a beautiful way to carry on his legacy, not just honoring his contributions to wrestling, but also reflecting his compassionate nature.
Exactly. And the foundation continues to make meaningful differences in the lives of those in need through its actions. They host fundraising events, including an annual gala with renowned guest speakers and performers. These events generate funds for the foundation's charitable efforts while honoring Owen's life and his lasting influence on acquaintances and fans alike. Through the Owen Hart Foundation, Owen's legacy continues to resonate, embodying his generous and kind-hearted spirit. His story is a testament to how one's impact can continue to be felt even after they're gone. So, today we traveled through the life and career of Owen Hart, a prominent figure in professional wrestling history. We delved into his upbringing in the Hart wrestling family, his journeys in the ring, and his tragic death. It's a tale of talent, resilience, legacy, and tragedy. But as we've discovered, Owen Hart's legacy lives on, not only through wrestling history, but through the charitable efforts of the Owen Hart Foundation.
It's amazing how a life so tragically cut short can leave such a profound impact on so many people. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the remarkable life of Owen Hart. If you have, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and share this episode with your friends. Remember, every like and share helps us bring you more fascinating stories like this one.
And we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to Curiosity Wonderland. We'll be back soon with another illuminating episode. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, and thank you for being a part of the Curiosity Wonderland community.
I learned about this incredible journey of Owen Hart from an article titled How and Why Owen Hart Became a Wrestling Icon, written by Desiree Bowie on the How Stuff Works site, published on February 28, 2024. You'll find the full URL in the video description if you wish to explore this topic further. All right, I'm signing off now.